minute till showtime. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Not Pulse Radio.
Come on now. I so well cry. Thank you. Well, let's trust today. Just want to take a minute, just try to just work our way through this one right here now. My. Come on. Are you prepared to put your robe on? Tell the story. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Talking real to you. Prime time is back. I want all of you to put on your robe. This is Marvelous Monday. This is Talking Real to You, Prime Time. And I'm Dr. Louis D. Smith, excited to come before you because we are offering an opportunity throughout Internet Talk Radio show to share your opinions. Our focus will be just on plain old life issues that occur in our life. To have an opportunity to be back in the game is exciting. I just wanted to play that. We don't own the rights to the music, but I thought it was enough to uplift me if it didn't uplift you. And that's what it's all about, just plain old life issues. We're going to start in the neighborhood. We're going to work from block to block. And I have an awesome team that joined me. But I want you to be a part of the show as well by calling in. The chat line is 347-857-4192. Repeat that, 347-857-4192. Press 1. I'll make sure I get you on the line, but identify the last 4 digits of your cell ask for your location. You get a chance to chat with an awesome dean. This is a group of awesome young ladies that come in tonight that share their thoughts. And I see one already on the line. I'm gonna make sure I introduce her to get it started off. But you also have a chance to check us out on the web link where you can just listen to the show. That's www.blogtalkradio.com/WVSW Internet Talk Radio. Our live broadcasts are available. You can go to Big O Live, Facebook Live, and you can go to TikTok, and you'll get an opportunity to check us out live, and that's Dr. L. Dialberto Smith. Also, we have other the co-hosts that have their Facebook channel working as well. We have Facebook.com Lisa Farrell. We want to thank her for also using her line as soon as she get on, she's able to get on tonight. Also, we have Instagram, which partners with the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma chapter of Greenville, Alabama, and their handle is Z Squad Greenville, 1981. Then on YouTube, you got a chance to check us out on YouTube. That's the Smithway Enterprises 5018. So you have an opportunity to be a part. If you're not a follower, if you're not a friend, that's all right. You can join and be right with us and be a part of us as 6 continents. So we're truly excited because it's a network. And we have an awesome show planned for you tonight. I just thought that since we've been away from the game for a minute, I just said, we're going to just talk about the world. We're going to talk about the social issues. We're going to talk about the educational issues. We're going to talk about some political issues. We're going to kind of spread our wings out and try to touch on everything within that hour time, which we may go over a minute or two, but we truly want to be able to share as much knowledge that we have and want to hear what you have to say as well. We also want to share with you that WVSW Radio giveaways ask you as we raffle off hotel stays vary from 3 nights to 4 nights. 3 nights, 4 days, 5 nights, 6 days. We pay for the hotel stay, no matter how much it is. A luxury hotel varies most of the time from $500 a night up into $1,000. And we really put it out there and share that with you. So we will be raffling off each one of those hotel stays, which will be about 4 of them next week, because next week allows us to celebrate our anniversary. 7 years on September the 27th, the week of September the 27th. 7 years, WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station, has been in existence. So this is our anniversary. So we want to give back. So not only are we giving away raffling our hotel stays, we're going to have 5 book bags full of all the goodies, or more or less the supplies that a child would need, a student would need to go to school. And we're going to raffle off 5 book bags. We're going to raffle off gift cards. We're going to raffle off food vouchers, as well as movie and some car washes, along with the books that our great authors that left here with us. And after they didn't leave them, we purchased them, so we make sure we can give them to you. So truly, it's a blessing to be able to be for you, but we want you to register for our giveaway by sending your name, first of all, to Lorenza D. Smith 15@gmail.com. And we also have a phase of our giveaway where there's nothing to do with the raffle, is that we actually attach a means of transaction. The 4 means of transaction are Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. What we actually do, if you got one of them, attach it to your name. We send out love offerings, varying from $5 to $100. We're giving back. So we need to make sure you register for the giveaway, and in the process you include in the love offering. But on top of that, we want you to be a very important part of this by investing in us, because we want to invest in you. Sow a seed of $1. $1 with WVSW Radio at Cash App, $LORENZA, D as in David, SMITH, as well as PayPal. That's Lorenza D. Smith 15 at gmail.com. Our title, As the World Turns. As the World Turns. We have an awesome co-host that's joining us, and I really appreciate this young, energetic person. And more or less, when you're blessed with wisdom, you're still young and excited. Hailed from the great state of South Carolina. She's a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, as well as an author. And I would say a former educator, but if you was an educator at one time, you're always going to be an educator. She was a counselor, administrator. She loves her family. And truly, not only just the blue and white family, but her biological or her family, biological family. And truly, we want to thank her. None other than Sarah Scarlett Harvey Black, state of South Carolina. How you doing, Scarlett?
I'm doing fascinating. Good to talk to you. It's been a while. So good to be on.
Yes.
Tonight and to be with our listener audience. Things are just moving so nicely. 7 years from where.
Okay.
It's been a great honor.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Scarlett. I'm hoping the other team members join. If not, we're going to carry on as much because we've been away for, actually, I said, take your break, 2 or 3 months. It's okay. It's all good because everybody needs that time to kind of take care of some affairs they have. Led us up into getting started during football season. And before we really get into it, as the world turns, let's see. I see those Eagles of North Carolina Central University went down to Miami and sent those people, myself included, a whole mother dear Alabama State University, back to the house. Congratulations to North Carolina Central Eagles, the university, for winning the.
Eagles. That's what we do.
That's what we do. There you go. Because I want to make sure. That's awesome. I wanted to make sure I put that out in front because that is really how Scarlett really got involved with what we're doing, because we was on a sports talk show, and we was talking so much about the Alabama and the schools that are down in the deep southern area. And she said, well, don't forget about the school up there called North Carolina Central University. You know, they won a national championship. And she just kept on, and from that point, she joined us, and she's on our Talking Real to You Primetime. So I want to thank you so much for being here tonight, Scarlett. And we're gonna be expeditious in what we're doing tonight. We're gonna try to touch on as much as we can. We don't get all we can get, but we will come back, because in 2 weeks we're in the game now. We're rolling now. So we're truly excited about getting back, and I thank you so much for taking time to be here. I want to say before we get started with our title, As the World Turns, get a shout out to Miss Bush EBS, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. We got Ada Nu Sigma 1914, those are brothers of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Also have several individuals join us tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Jose, thank you so much. We have Sherman joining us. Conchita, thank you for joining us. Love Prospers 8 joining us. Thank you for taking time. We got Maxine. I also have a user here. Other individuals, I'm gonna try to give him a shout out. Mr. Nice Guy joining us. Thank you so much for being here. And we got many others just slowly coming in. The board is filling up, and I do appreciate you all for taking time to listen to WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. I am Dr. Lorenza D. Smith, and we have also joined us Sarah, a member of the Blue and White family, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Scarlett Harvey Black joining us as well. Thank you so much. for each and every one of you all. We want to get the show started. And Scarlett, we're going to just kind of be focused on these topics that I think at the point in that we are in this world or at this time, I just felt like some of these social issues we should address, and I may not go in the order that they're listed as I sent you the format, but we want to make sure we touch on just about everything that we can. And one of the biggest things on the social issue is mental health. And I keep wanting to go back to that. And I had a couple shows on it during various times of the months of this year. We talked about mental health, but it is something that's truly important that we need to make sure we address. For years, Scarlett can jump in eventually, that in our community, it was a stigma to even say someone had some challenges mentally because we didn't want it to be out that might be happening in our family. But we were so brash and hard on individuals by saying that they have to be something fruity inside of their head. The truth of the matter, it doesn't take a whole lot to put you in a level of over the point of your mental health and becoming a mental issue. So it's important that we continue to talk about it because we are in our communities. We have various issues that we need to address. We need to know how to address them. And dispel the fear, dispel the stigma that's in our community. So all of our individuals can have an opportunity to address the issue with support. So we won't continue to be splendid. Maybe we can come together. Scarlett, what is your thoughts in regards to the mental health situation here and why it's so important?
Well, I was a counselor and a former licensed professional counselor also. And, it's an issue that is close to, first of all, me in the beginning of my career, and how I feel about people in general. When you're hurting, sometimes you may not be aware that you're hurting. You hurt other people. And sometimes we wonder how some people react and their behaviors are as they are. It's because there's some things they need to address. And it has been a stigma to get help, to ask for help, and to accept help in our community for a for a long time. And some got family secrets where they'll hide these things or whatever. But I'm hoping now in 2024 that things are getting better in terms of how we reach out and seek answers, such the help that is truly needed. We all have dark days. There's not anybody alive who never had a dark day. And how you handle getting through a bad day, a dark day, or whatever case may be, says a lot. Some are a little stronger than others that can handle and get through. Others need to talk and to interact with other people. Some will retreat and just pretend it's not there. Stop pretending, stop thinking it's not there. If it lasts a little longer than what is normal for some, then it's time to try to reach out to someone, talk to someone, and someone that will really listen and offer you the answers that you possibly need, or just sometimes just to listen to what you have to say. Don't try to handle some of these things alone. And there's symptoms and signs that you can go online and pull up in with the Mental Health Association, which I strongly recommend that we all do their time to time, and to look and just to continue to monitor ourselves, do self-monitoring on how we're feeling and how we're doing. And I'm going to confess that during all this election stuff and all this political stuff and the that we have experienced over the last, particularly this year, and even long before that. I called it a political depression, and I just had to finally just turn off the TV, the news, and everything else, and not listen, because I had to get me back to a balance. And you know when you're out of balance. And so I felt like I was getting out of balance with just all this negativity and all the mess that was coming out. And now I can truly say, the last several weeks, this is like something lifted. And it just feels so good to be able to interact with people and talk about things without feeling like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders or how things might be going. So we all have those moments. And we just need to monitor ourselves. And when we find ourselves in and out of balance, in and out of sorts, and not really truly being happy and being ourselves, necessary to reach out and to restart or recharge. And it's okay. You got to do it more than one time. But it's okay. I don't really have to take. It may have to be optional. Do what you need to do for you. If you know people in your family who are struggling with some of these things, go to them not in a condemnation way or a judgmental way, but gently, and with love. Do you think somebody tells someone you want to talk about it? Type of thing. And then if they do, they go out and blab and tell everybody about what they talk about. That's one thing that's been practicing too, is that sometimes we talk to the wrong people. Practice is right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mayor. Went out a little bit, but actually began to come back in.
Did I go out?
Yeah, you went out. Yeah, you back with me now.
Where did I go out? Okay,
Talking to someone.
Yeah, just talk to the right people.
Right people.
Talk to the wrong people. I know, I'm part of the culture. I know how we can be. You got to tell everything about this brother, about somebody else's business. And so find the right people you can talk to that will give you help and the need, and sometimes it's the listening ear that you need.
And Scott, I thank you so much for that. Truly, it's something that really, as she shared with us, that we really need to think about. I always said that because it's like she's confessing, I'm always confessing that I do counseling twice a month. Because I want to be the best version of myself. Not of anybody else. I'm not trying to do it for the acceptance of others. And I think that's where the stigma comes into play, where we wanted to hide things within our family because we were afraid people will draw conclusions about, and we will no longer be accepted, which it has happened. Unfortunate, what we have to really do, another thing I think is really important, as Scarlett shared, is in our families, we need to have conversations. Communication is open communication and effective communication. It is not at the level we should be. We should be able to go into our own family and talk about the issues that's going on with us. See, our show, which is Talking Real to You Primetime, is focusing on our neighborhood. Just old-fashioned things, traditional things, focusing on our neighborhood, block by block, home by home, community by community, and not trying to step too far out. And I think we have expanded ourselves, even as a country, trying to do a little bit too much. But we forget about the small things, which starts at home. And we're going to have to make sure we get back to making sure we take care of home. Scarlett said, I have to admit, I took a minute. I had to take a minute because all of this stuff was just coming. It was out there. It couldn't be out there. If I take a minute, then I can kind of regroup and get myself. We all have to regroup. So it's important that when we focus on mental health, we have to understand first that there are issues. We all have issues, no matter who we are. Okay, how well dressed, how nice you look, whatever you is, we all have some issues or encounter some kind of issue. It's what we do with the issue is what our challenge in our community block by block. What are we doing with the issues? Are we addressing the issues, or we're letting the issues lay out there and fester and get even worse than what it is at that point? Truly, we need to consider that we use the resources that are available and think about, well, maybe just because that person's getting help, maybe I need to get some help. We all, because that's a barrier not only on just in our home, but it end up out in our relationships out in life, on our jobs, in our church or churches, in our organization, with our friends. We have issues that happen where we can't deal with it, but because we're broken, because we will not seek what we need, we'll take it out out in the world and expect everybody to accept that. And I think that's really where we are. As the world turns, we are taking our issues from our homes out in the world and expecting everybody else to accept it. See, we can't continue to do that. We need to address our issues first at the what we call the grassroots level. And so we decided to try to take it out here and try to tell somebody else, share with somebody else, to the point where we get bullish on people. We try to force people to accept what we accept. And what we might be accepting might be wrong. And truly, that's what we need to address. This is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. You have Scarlett Harvey Black and myself focusing on some of the issues in regards to health. And that leads me to think about, if we as adults are having challenges, what about our children? Have we forgot about our children? Because if we don't address the issues, they're going to feed off us, because we are their pillars as mothers and fathers. We are their pillars. Regardless of whatever you said in family dynamics is, it's still a pillar with a mother and a father. And if we got issues, you don't think our children won't have mental issues? Do you not think that? Because they see how we operate. And our children are very important. You know, both Scarlett and I have been long time educators. We have seen things from way back. I can tell you way back. I know for sure, Scarlett. I was talking to a group of interns the other day, and I had the pleasure of just focusing on further. They said the dress attire, but it got to the point I was also saying, well, just talk to motivate them to be able to what they need to do. And I was just talking, and I was talking about passion. That was the last P. I gave them 5 P's, and the last one was passion. And then I started thinking about, I said, you have to have passion to be into this career you're choosing to be in, which is education. And I looked back and I saw that, counting from when I started way over 40 years. And it was like, wow, I didn't realize it, but being blessed to be around young people, and share what I know where it coming from, and some people don't even be shocked, coming from segregation. I can only speak of my life. I experienced segregation.
Right.
Scarlett experienced segregation. We experienced integration. You gotta understand, I'm not talking about what it is today. I'm talking about when you first had integration. To move to a point.
One weekend and get another one second weekend, or the next weekend, it will look like the one you left.
Exactly. Or you are the very minority a group there, like 1,200 students, and able 20 minorities there.
I think we had 12.
So you can see the story here. So we went through. So we must prepare our children. Do you not think the things that we encountered during that time stamped in our brains? Do you think we could just erase? So our children are the most important, I would say, voters here. And we need to do a better job. Their mental health is very important. Their mental health, we got to address it. Because if we don't address it, if we don't do anything, if they become broken as a child, it's a good chance they're going to be broken as an adult. And a lot more come at them when they're adults than as children, because you can kind of protect them as a child. But when you become an adult and you're broken, and you can't handle things that go and come at you, then it leads to some very challenging situations. And sometimes become tragic. We need to make sure we put our children first.
Adults have a situation, there's a role model for them to how to handle situations. They still parents going to pieces and not getting help for some type of resolve with what they're going through. They mimic that. So that's the only model they have on how to resolve things. And they bring that to school. If it's never resolved in the family or whatever, it goes into their adult life. That's what you're now saying.
Yep. Yep. It goes right into it. You carry what you experience. And Scarlett, I'm gonna read. I was reading something. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna kind of move to another area in regards to another topic. I was reading an article, and it was talking about how crucial the years with our children from birth to 8 years old. Our children learn more about life and how they will navigate life as an adult from birth, you see what I'm saying now, to 8 years old. And I want you all to think about that and think about just, okay, what happened in between birth and 8 years old? They actually learn, I'm just going to take some small things. They learn how to speak because they hear the person speak. They learn how to behave because they see the person as the role model behave. If you don't address things like, one of the things in the state of Alabama they have, and they implemented this year, that if a child is not reading at third grade level when they get to the third grade and take their assessment, and they won't go to the fourth grade, so they're going to hold them back. So I want you to think about the years.
Well, they started that year too. This traffic is Carolina Surface, South Carolina, some other places across the country, and it doesn't work. First of all, it just doesn't work. Instead of trying to get the child the help that they need, and instilling those skills that they have missed along the way, so they got to third grade. What is the intention of a child for another year in third grade with the same curriculum, same methods of teaching, nothing changed? And so that didn't last that long.
Well, like I said, this is the first year.
Ask educators about how we felt about it.
What never do.
Legislators that implemented that.
Never do. And then the thing about the educators who supposed to be working for our favor, sometimes trying to get something for something else to go along with that. But I brought that up because I want to say, for a child to read at third grade level, when he gets to third grade, he needs to be reading when he comes at birth. People don't believe it because you got people that read to their children inside of them. They hear that voice. So it's gonna have to be. It has to start.
One of the biggest blowbacks as a principal was the fact that I want 5-year-olds to read, the letters, numbers, and the basic words before they even got in first grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to fight them out. But guess what? Those kids, by the time they got the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, they were ready.
Exactly. And I guess my point I brought up is their mental state needs to be thought serious about allowing our children to sit down and hear everything we say as adults when they're in between birth and 8th grade, birth and 8 years old. We need to sit down and think about conversations they shouldn't have or we shouldn't have around them. And we have to think about what we're going to pour in them. See, the problem is if you don't pour it into them early, then don't expect the great results later on because they're already behind. They're already behind. So we have to understand that. So I mean, the mental aspects of it, their mental well-being come into play from birth through 8th grade. 8-year-olds. Their mental well-being. See, we got to realize what we do. We can't wait till they get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old and say, now we want to do what we should have been doing from birth to 8 years old. They're already behind the 8 ball. And we have to kind of focus on that. Again, this is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. We're excited to come before you because we're going to focus on just plain old life issues. We're going to take it from the neighborhood, block by block, and truly look at some things that hopefully in our world, as the world turns, will play some role even in your life, and you're doing what you need to do, or I know what I need to do to make sure it's better for our people that come behind, our young people that come from behind. Because there are some, we're going to have to move out the way. I heard something the other day, Scarlett, when they said, well, we had the silent generation, most of them moved on the top side. They said, but they had to move on so the baby boomers can come in, and they begin to move on now. Now you got Generation X. And see, you got to move on. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm experiencing that as we're experiencing on this end. So my point is that try to do your best to prepare our children for this world that they will see in 2035, 2040. See, Scarlett and I know that, it's a good chance. God may bless us, but we got more days behind us than we got in front of us. So whatever we're doing now, we're going to do the best, but you need to step up and allow to identify the importance of your child's mental health. You need to make sure you do it. You don't need nobody to come in like Scarlett, like we said, ride in here with a white hat on, white horse, and come in and say, this is what's going to happen. That's not happening anymore. You're going to have to do it. No, it's not coming. They're not coming. You have to do it. Make sure your children. Then the first time something happened out here in society when they're adults, the first thing, well, they needed some mental health. I hear that more than anything. They may be mentally ill. But the point is, some of these things we got to address. We can't bury our head in the sand. We have to make sure we address the situation with our children. And you see you know more about your child. You should. I'm sorry. You should know more about your child than anybody else. They don't need to go to school for somebody to tell you about your child. You should know so you're going to send the best. I always tell people, they say, kid, man. But then the bottom line is, parents are sending the best they have. If they have somebody else, they'll send somebody else. So they're sending their best to you. So it's up to you for all of us to come together and say, we need to make sure our children mental well-being is in order or stable enough so they can be successful as adults. See, I'm skipping all over the teenage years because whatever they learn from birth to 8 years old, they're going to continue to matriculate and on and on. And when they get to adults, then you wonder why some of them 21 years old still think they're 15. And it has nothing to do with you when I label them. That's because they're immature to the point they didn't get a chance to get the nourishment. They didn't get what they needed when they were young. And we have to make sure. So that's why our children, to me, mental health is very important, Star. That's my thoughts in regard. You want to share anything on it before we move to at least one of these educational topics?
No, I think we've covered it, and we continue to cover that. Cover mental health, which I like. I think it's good because when we have shows, so we try to always go back to that because that's the foundational piece. And they keep re-emphasizing over and over and over again.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. But before we move forward, I have my commercials. I got to play my advertisement. I mean, my sponsor will jump on me because I got talking too much tonight. Yeah, and I want to make sure I play this. I want to play all of them, but this in particular. Now, this young lady was on the show. Her name is Lena Payton Well. She's the 2024, one of them, Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. And they had them, she's sitting there, a picture where they took them in the, at the White House. Recently now, I'm telling you, and she was on this show. And she was not because she knew she was going to be awarded, but the things she was doing, she has a company she's so proud of, which is Blue Impressions Publishing. And they focus on helping you get your work published and the strategies to get it out. This is none other than Lena Payton Well, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Let's make it do what it do.
To share your inspiring story with the world, look no further than Blue Impressions Publishing, the premier publishing company that specializes in creating meaningful and impactful books and journals. Blue Impressions Publishing, declared and owned by author Lena Payton Well, offers comprehensive services to bring your vision to life. Their mission is to empower writers, mental health professionals, consultants, coaches, and spiritual leaders to make a positive impact through their publications. Not only do they publish your words, they use strategy to be a successful author and earn an additional source of income. So whether you're an aspiring author or a seasoned writer, Blue Impressions Publishing is the publishing company for you. Don't let your story go untold. Visit the website today, yourartisticexpressions.com. You can also call 833-951-2665 to learn more about their services and to get started on your publishing journey. Blue Impressions Publishing, where inspiring stories leave a lasting impression.
I'm excited because Lena Payton Well took an opportunity to come on this show. But besides that, she's doing some awesome things. She's been to India, and she has been to India talking about her book, talking about Blue Impression Publishing. She also is up in Maryland. She'll be up in Maryland in the next couple weekends. They got a couple workshops and seminars going on. So truly, we want to thank her and our organization for supporting what we're doing. We support them. That's Blue Impression Publishing. And you can give her a call at 833-951-2665. Or go to Facebook, type in Lena Payton Well. And the information will be populated, and you can direct message her, and you can talk with her and find out exactly how she can help you in the area of writing your story or publishing your story. Thank you so much, Blue Impressions Publishing. This is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. Really excited to come before you because we're bringing an opportunity to share some thoughts. We want you to be a part of the show by calling in. The call-in number is 347-857-4192. Press 1, and I'll make sure I get you on the line by identify the last 4 digits of your cell. Ask for your location. You can chat with Scarlett Harvey Black and myself, Lorenza D. Smith, and we are talking about what's actually going on in regards to the world that we live in. The next focus area that we want to get to in our format is an education issue, because I think it's important that we talk about the trends of 2024. There were several trends that I list down there, but I want to really look at a couple of them because it is showing, it's rapidly happening in a lot of our schools. We already had a shortage. As you know, we had a shortage. Why? And you can ask a lot of questions why teachers are leaving, burnout, retiring, and we always have to have some workers to replace and retire. They always said the silent generation moved, so the baby boom was going to move, so the generation next can come in. But in education, we're running into a problem, and we can't retain. Why are we having such a challenge retaining those teachers? It is the question that we want to kind of look at. Why are we having those challenges? And I just want to kind of start off, Scarlett, and just talk about some things. See, when you take the product, which is a stakeholder, the teacher, truly for granted, for 50 or 60 years, eventually it will wrap its head up. Like when teachers are leaving, no one is there to replace it. You're having a problem with teacher retention because we always had, as teachers, had specialized roles in education. I don't know if you're ever in a high school, Scarlett, I know you've been in, I've been in a high school. We had specialized roles for teaching, which was foreign language instructors. That was a specialized. You didn't have more than one or two foreign language instructors in your school. And if one of them left, it was hard to replace. I just want you to think about retention. We also had your advanced courses, and individuals could teach those advanced courses, advanced math, English, social studies, whatever it may be. If that person left, if you're not able to get someone, then you either going to have to drop that opportunity to young people. Special education or special needs are now called collaborative. That's what we call it here. We went to an inclusion opportunity for them, and then we started losing. So these are the specialized positions that we had. So we already were struggling with a shortage of teachers or educators. Now the question is what we will do. How can we have retention of increased retention for our educators? Say one more thing, Scarlett, and you can jump in. Wife was telling me that even at their place, they're losing people just walking out. And I want you to think about this. We just started school, right? They just started school up in your area too as well. And you got teachers walking out the door already, quitting. We've been in school how long? In our cases, yeah, in our cases, just a little bit more like 6, because they started on August the 5th, August the 12th. So about 4 weeks.
Yeah, about 6 weeks. Well, you had a holiday in
there. Yeah. People are walking away from the school and say, I'm not coming back. What is going on here? The lack of respect for the profession that a lot of other professionals had for them, and you thought you just really didn't need them. Now we're trying to find out we need them. Society needs them and always have. So the question is, are we going to be able to come up with ways to retain teachers instead of run them out? Last thing, Scarlett, the superintendent here in Montgomery Public Schools in Alabama decided he'll resign, effective November 1st. He's been there 2 years, I mean. 2 years. 2 years. Turn his resignation. Not only, and Scott, maybe you could help me out with this. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you, what you're talking about. Have you ever known someone, superintendent, take their letter of resignation and put it in the newspaper? Put it online?
No.
I have never. I'm telling you, I have. Long I know I've been in, long as you've been, I've never known somebody take their letter of resignation, put it in the newspaper or put it online, and have all the things that they had done on that letter of resignation. Something to think about. So, one of the reasons this gentleman said he was resigning was the lack of confidence in his office. Okay. I'm just going to leave it right there. I wanted to share those things. Scarlett, the floor is now yours.
I'm trying to hold my composure. I don't know how much political, we can talk. But I'm going to start with that office first, because with the school board first, the school boards are now electing people, some who never graduated from high school and just have GEDs. They're on school boards, and those who are politically entrenched in extreme political positions. And they are trying to tell school superintendents, Board of Education, translates to the Department of Education in a state also with the same problems that these who've been elected should not be elected. And they are now telling the teachers what they cannot do. Legislatures in places like Florida, Texas, and all these other places who are passing these laws, saying what they will and will not be able to do in their classrooms, where you've always had nowhere else you had autonomy in your classroom as long as you were teaching the curriculum and making sure that students were getting the skills that they needed. This is back to our day. That's no longer today. So when the legislators are now saying what should be the curriculum and should not, and most of them are not educators, and then there's making sure that people who are very conservative in their beliefs are getting on the school boards who are doing the same. Yeah, folks are walking out. Folks are leaving. And also, what you're losing so many of your veterans. In a lot of these schools, what you get now that you can hire that's out there are these 20-somethings, and I don't know, disrespect to 20-somethings, the folks who do not have any experience, haven't been in a classroom, do not know about classroom management, and things of this nature. This is what you have. So your wisdom, your veteran staff, are either retiring, hanging up, I've had enough, going home, got the time in. Folks that could take someone young and do coming in like back during our day, under their arm, and work with them, teach them the tips and skills on how to manage a classroom, and how to really break down the curriculum. Those things are far few and in between them in a lot of places. And so when you see on the internet, social media, and they're posting about a teacher getting slapped. I know we saw the one a couple weeks ago about one who lost an eye.
Yes.
Things of this nature. School is going to go into a school and be abused by a third or fourth grader or a 13 or 14-year-old child. Now, what can you do? Well, you can't put your hands on them.
There you go.
You can't get yourself out of the way quick enough.
Nope.
And then the military comes, or if you have a police officer or a resource officer that's in your school, they're not going to do so much either.
Yep.
Yeah, they're supposed to leave. But then you don't want to pay them what they deserve to be paid. Now, here States, and also we're number 43 in the nation. So the money here is really good. But even with that, take the abuse they have to take. Who wants to be abused?
Right? No one.
Then it goes back to our children with these mental health issues, the emotional issues that they have to deal with because most, parents, don't think there's anything wrong or my child doesn't need help, but they support or condone behavior at home that translates going to the school where they yell the teacher about being fair. Just last week, I was mentioning someone who was an administrator and said that the child came in and told her, well, you can't take no picture of me, you better not, and I'm going to third grade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What she could and could not do. So she wanted to know what's the best thing to do. I said the best thing to do is that when he gets out of control, push the button, you get some help, you go across the hall and next door, ask someone to come stand where they can see your class, and you get immediate assistance, but do not touch that child.
Yep.
So that's the child, way to really, and the parent, going to court over a child being out of control like this. So I saw the lady that lost the eye.
Yep.
I started crying. I said, so who in the world is going to work under those conditions? So it's really going back to your question. Work conditions, legislators write curriculum that they know nothing about, and also encouraging and pushing people of their political persuasion, extreme conservatism, to get on these school boards and try to have their way as to what's going to be done and what can be taught and what can be said in and out of school. Yeah, these people are walking out. And to tell you the truth, now, I don't know this day and time. But somebody said, what would you do if you were still there? I said, well, one, two things. I'll probably be in jail or I will walk out too. Because I'm going to make sure that at my school that I live is going to have an environment where kids can learn, all kids can learn, and all kids are going to be treated with dignity and respect. And guess what? So was the staff.
Yep. And that's what you get when you get individuals who understand what is required to do it. I think we have got another thing. I think it's more people have gotten away from structure. They don't want structure. And it's not just, it starts somewhere. And pretty much I see, especially with our children operating, and you've been in a building with structure. Just like simply I was saying, I went over to a high school and I was going to check on the intern. And I can remember the days when we actually used to walk to the right. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Walk to the right. Oh, they don't do that no more. They don't do that. They walk down. Everybody just walk down the center of the hall. You have to be like in a maze. Now, I don't think I didn't do no party. Political. I had to do with people in charge. And I think we got these individuals in charge that believe that they can operate a school and not have structure. Because you know why? They operate their life that way. And I think that's where our biggest problem is.
Yeah, and guess what? Mm-hmm. It doesn't work. And also, they operate to the point where they don't want to, a child may not want to walk down the right side of the hall, then they got to argue. We got to deal with that.
Yeah.
You know something? There's some things when you take on these positions, you're going to have to deal with.
Exactly.
And walking down the right side of the hall is your structure, your rule for structure in your building. Guess what? You don't walk down the right side of the hall. Yeah, that one don't want to walk down the right side of the hall. Yeah, we'll deal with that.
Exactly. And that's where we are. Our hands are tied so. And I know when I was in my last year, I can tell you that I chose to make my last year. That was in 2016. And when a young 12, 13-year-old boy said, and that because I was informing him that he needs to quieten up, and the teacher was talking to him as administrator. He said he would actually put his hands on me, and I know it was time for him to go home. But that's what
Uh-huh.
just think that was 8 years ago. Okay? What you
Yeah.
think folks are dealing with now that are 8 years later? We wonder why they're
So
walking out
it's
there.
a lot worse. I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm talking, they talk to me because, best friends, things of this nature, and they just said, I don't know how much longer I can take it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I just think until we can decide to get back to have some kind of, again, structure, have it, because it works. It works in the military, even though some things are happening there too as well. But the ideal is that we need to get back to the basics so our children can be successful way beyond just in school, but in life as well. But quickly, we want to take an opportunity to give a shout out to our next sponsor. This is Mary Roof, and this is your place. You say one day you're traveling down south.
Yeah, my Mary Roof.
You're going to check out Mary Roof. So
Tell them.
I will definitely tell them hello. They are doing real well. Year 2, completing year 2, moving year 3. Mary Roof's Restaurant in Georgiana, Alabama.
Looking for home cooked food in a family-friendly environment? Well, look further than Mary Roof's. Mary Roof's Restaurant, located at 261 State Highway 106 in beautiful Georgiana, Alabama. Great food in a family-friendly environment. Mary Roof's Restaurant offers home-cooked breakfast. All the fixings, you name it, they've got it. And not just home-cooked breakfast. Home-cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Mary Roof's Restaurant specializes in a meat and 3 vegetables meal. And meat and 3. Also, home-cooked hamburgers, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and much more. Seafood Friday. Barbecue Saturday. And it's all hot burgers and made from scratch, including the desserts and so much more. Eating good. 261 West State Highway 106 in Georgiana. Mary Roof's Restaurant. Call today. 334-362-4032. That's 334-362-4032. Mary Roof's Restaurant. Home cooked meals. Family friendly environment. Food. Who can ask for more in a restaurant? Mary Roof's Restaurant in Georgiana. Breakfast from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Lunch from 11 until 2. And dinner 5 until 9. Barbecue Saturdays begin at 11 a.m. and last until Mary Roof's Restaurant in Georgiana. With a family-friendly environment. Come on,
The co-owners are Brother Marvin Lala Smith, member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma chapter of Greenville, Alabama. His wife, Sarah Pastor Katrina Roper Smith, member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. You can contact them and find out more information, make your order, call in, get things set up, find out where their location at 334-549-0950. Also, you can go to Facebook, type in Marvin Smith. He has his page, he posts, and Katrina Roper Smith has her page, and both of them posting over Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They're getting the word out. So it is the best Southern cooking in South Central Alabama. Give them a holler if you're in the area. If you're traveling down toward the north coast of Florida, the Gulf Coast area they call it, you can stop in because they're in that direction. That's Mary Roof Restaurant, 261 State Highway 106 West, Georgiana, Alabama. We're just going to cover a couple more topics. This is WVSW Radio, the number 1 internet station. You can call us at 347-857-4192. Press 1 out. Make sure I get you on the line by identifying the last 4 digits of your cell. Ask for your location, then you can chat with Scarlett Harvey Black and Lorenza B. Smith. So we're glad to be here to share what we have in our experience and say our wisdom. I want to move to the topic on DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Equity and inclusion.
Yes. And Scarlett, you can start off sharing some thoughts about it, because see, a lot of people don't understand what it is. They hear it, but they don't quite understand what it is. So if you want to start off sharing some thoughts, then I'll come in and I'll get the tail end of it.
Okay, can I share one thing right quick though?
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
yes.
know how many of our listeners audience has looked at this project 2025. Um, we take a look at that and pass it on because the Department of Education is that happens. There will not be a Department of Education anymore, and they're also kind of behind the DEI movement now of removing DEI from the colleges and universities. Um, I was so pleased to hear just last week that a lot of Fortune 500 companies are not losing. They're going to get rid of their DEI departments or personnel, which was good to hear. So we need to congratulate those hundred some companies that are still going to maintain that. And diversity, equity, and inclusion is just another way of just trying to ensure that there is a presence of all people, all of us in these companies, in these schools, and things of that nature, and that we are, because you can grow by a diverse population, that's just diversity in your place of business or whatever the case may be. Normally, back in our day, when everyone had to be before immigration, you were more comfortable with the people that you work with and look like you every single day. Well, now, America is the melting pot, of the world. And the diversity here is extremely high. And we don't want to lose that. It's trying to be torn down with ourselves with things with our democracy. That's what makes us strong as a country. The fact that we blend and we all are in the same boat together and working together. And that's the way I look at these as a way of trying to ensure that college universities have most of their staff that look like us, look like others. In the companies and businesses, same thing. And that's how I view the DEI movement now that's been removed. I think some last states has lost their DEI program, um, and the mothers are being threatened to lose theirs. So you want to make sure that you're getting a fair share, fair shake anywhere you go into the business world or as you pursue your education, regardless of where it is. That's how I view it. How do you view it, Doc?
Uh, Pretty much as promoting fairness and respect. I wanted to put that out there because if you're not fair, then you're going to have inequality or inequity. See, when you're fair and as the ideal of respecting all people, then you can see that as being, well, we're diverse, equity, and it's inclusion. You got everybody inclusion. I think it should go both ways. It should go one way. Truly don't, because I think it should have where it's vice versa, where, for example, on where I work, it would have to go the other way. So I think that's just something that really we got to be wholesome about it and work together, because I think if it's not fair and it don't have any respect being behind it, then it don't mean anything. And I think that ideal of definition to kind of explain that I pull out the two word is important. Is it fair? Is it fair to all people? Is it do it
And the thing too
for
is that,
fairness? Yes.
yeah, and the resources are the resources, that you have, are they being distributed fairly? You know,
Yes.
what I like
Everything.
about it was the fact, we had workshops where we were bonding and getting to know each other. Things from your culture, things from my culture, and other cultures, not just black and white. We could learn and incorporate that. And also, in terms of schools, some schools where you and I work, for folks to come in and to children to see people in that and it was good. I had Hispanic teachers too, because we were a big Hispanic population.
Mm-hmm.
It was important for me to ensure that when I talk with HR personnel, that they would help me recruit, teachers from all different spectrums that had children that were served in school where I was, and to make sure that that could be shared. And what we learned from each other, we really grew, and that's because of how we grew in our attitudes and beliefs about each other, because of inclusion, made a big difference in how kids learn.
Exactly, and that's why I'm also in real opposition to where we always say we wanted to, I have nothing against neighborhood schools, but I think a lot of times because of some of our neighborhood don't allow us to be diverse, and that kind of happened to Montgomery. See it when got 52% African American, and see we lost all the diversity, and it just become all one cultural, one group. So I think that's another thing. If they're gonna work in that manner, that we consider that we need to be working with one another. It's no if and our children need to be going to school with one another, which they are doing to a sense because they got more choices. But the bottom line is, if it's just going to work where we want to have it one way, it's not. It's no need to be doing that because you need to have diversity. That's what the purpose of it. You have the Hispanic, the Asian, the African American, the Caucasian, everybody. We got to now, and it really can't lean one way, because if you do and try to put the spin that it goes one way, then you're gonna be at a disadvantage. You're back to being what you was fighting against, doing segregation. So we have to be we have to make sure if we're gonna do this, let's do it the right. Promote fairness and respect. I don't care who it is. No matter how we can have fairness and respect. And we want to kind of move. Thank you so much, Scott, on that. It's a lot more we could talk about. We'll come back later on. We will talk a little bit. I just want to kind of get some topics, get us back in the game. And the last one, I need to play one more commercial. I want to play one more commercial today, Scarlett. Then we're going to jump. Well, actually, two I'm going to do. This is L&T Starwood Lawn Service. L&T Starworth Lawn Service LLC. That's Mr. Anthony Starworth. He's the manicure expert in South Central Alabama. He's also a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Yes, sir. I'm trying to make sure that everybody get a chance. Boy, I tell you, but truly, I thank them for supporting what we're doing and making sure the sponsorship is there so we can do a lot of the things that we're attempting to do. Thank you again, Mr. Anthony Starworth, better known as Tony Starworth. You and I actually had a conversation with him, started because he was one of the co-hosts on that Talking Sports Plus. He was one of the co-hosts doing that. Yeah. Yeah. So as he was he travel, yeah. I tell you, he's doing. As a matter of fact, he retired. He was the number 2 man in charge at the Alabama High School Athletic Association. He retired in 2018. Went back to the school system and in his local area as just the athletic director for the county or the district. And now 2 weeks ago he retired again. So now he's just doing his he was doing part-time lawn service. Now he's full-time lawn service as Mr. Anthony Stallworth. Go to Facebook, type in Anthony Stallworth. It'll populate his information. You can DM Anthony. He is the manicure expert of South Central Alabama. Like he said, I would love, because actually this was a business split between Alabama and Georgia. His brother was doing it in Georgia, and he's doing it in Alabama. So when the brother transitioned, he just brought it all back to Alabama. So we'll thank Mr. Stallworth for supporting what we're doing. You can give him a call at 334-300-7401. Truly give him a shout out. Thank you, Mr. Stallworth, for what you're doing. And thank you and your brothers of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, your chapter, Zeta Phi Sigma chapter, for supporting us. So we're glad about that. Started as we got about 5 more minutes because I kind of set it to go over a little bit over tonight, but we're kind of pressing it right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. We're getting back in the Shakespeare now.
Exactly. And the last thing I want us to kind of touch, because it is about 14 minutes. When we get to talking again, we'll be ready to shut it down. And it's going to turn off itself. Something I think we, as a lot of people as voters, don't quite understand. And I think we need to kind of, if I can, share the difference between the popular vote and the electoral college. Because a lot of people don't understand, because I hear them talking and I'm like, don't quite understand how this works. So I wanted to take an opportunity tonight and just talk about the popular vote. And it should be simple and easy understanding. It is where you select a political representative of your choice based on the votes from the citizen or votes from the people. The popular vote. And some people kind of get that. They kind of get it, but they don't quite understand that the popular vote does not win the presidential election. The electoral college is the one that really key to that election process. So on the popular vote, that's what I'm just telling, because I talk to people all the time. They be like, oh, I thought whoever get the most votes. I say that might be a one-on-one in your organization, but it's not in regards to the way the framers of the Constitution and the framers of the election process did it many years ago, that it would be the electoral college. Make sure everybody will have an opportunity to have a voice, because some states may be a lot larger than other states. Because the state of Florida, I can tell you that is 10 million people in Florida, but it's not 3 or 4 million in Alabama. So now you feel like that. That's why the electoral college. If you want to share some thoughts on both of them, you can right now.
Okay, we'll probably come back to that because it's a process. So it starts with really with the framers of the Constitution and the Southerners the Southerners on the Constitution. So we're not going to give a popular vote for blacks to have the vote. So we'll probably talk about the history of that, on how the electoral college came into process. That was part of the kind of key those Southern representatives. So let's come back to that one, where we give them the entire history, briefly on how that came about, how we still say that's why a lot of folks want to do away with it. So basically, this is about appeasing the southern part of our country. And with electoral college, that means that because when Al Gore ran for president, he actually won the popular vote. As you know, he didn't win the electoral college. And then you remember the hanging chads and all kinds of stuff that we had to go through with the lawsuits and everything. And the reason why someone is saying now that some, folks may not ever have to vote again, because they're have to rely on the electoral college. but we're hoping and praying that with the popular vote, it will be so overwhelming, you can't deny those electors who are elected in those states to cast the electoral vote will not try to keep it from being cast in the right direction. If you get my drift.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. And I almost think about an organization, for example, won't say it exactly, and I can only speak about my organization, but I do know about other organizations. We use more of an electoral college because we'll send a representative instead of having to send 10 or 12 or 14 people to a national meeting. So I can relate to if people actually there in an organization, they might do the same. Then some people will send as many delegates and they accept as many delegates that register, and each individual has a vote. But the truth of the matter, it is a popular vote. It's just that you, as the representative, should hold your chapter and let the chapter vote on who. Yeah. Yeah. So you should do it that way. So
see, that's the question now. And we outgrown this electoral college to it anymore. And I'm inclined to say, yeah, we need to get rid of it and let people, if we're going to say we the people, then it needs to be we the people and let our votes count. And whoever gets most votes, that's the person that wins.
Exactly. So that's something we're going to come back, but I just wanted to just kind of talk about it briefly because people don't quite understand it, and everybody don't agree. Some people don't want the popular vote, some don't want the electoral college. However, you got to come up with a way where both people will be right, because you're talking about California. In that case, you're talking about California, New York, and Florida, all them.
That's the question now. How were you going to come and say that your vote in Detroit didn't count? Because you thought that somebody was cheated or whatever the case may be. That's the wrong one to talk about.
Exactly. So it's just, as I was saying, you got these states that are large, they'll decide who will be elected. See, in the smaller states won't, and that's another problem we have too, as well. So I just say, we're going to talk about it. We're going to go in depth next time. Because it is where California, New York, and Florida, and Texas will be the one deciding who will be the president because they got more citizens. They got more people, whereas compared to Alabama.
Right now, just southern states, these southern states, they be the ones second. So they keep battleground states now, with these high electoral counts, or teaming up, or two or three, about saying the same thing. So both sides,
yep.
arguing on both sides.
That's the confusion with most people, the common person. It is.
You got Texas. You got Texas and Florida.
New York,
California, New York.
Yeah,
Michigan, Pennsylvania.
They would be the one to decide to do the popular vote if you go with them. But they got more electoral college vote anyway because they got more people. But that's enough.
Yeah.
They got because they have more people, and they still can decide it because you got 40 in Florida, in Texas, and you got 30 in Florida, and California got 55. That's a lot of electoral votes now. So that they can still decide it, even if you don't go with the popular vote. So it's just something to talk about, and we will talk about. But I tell you, it's been awesome tonight. But I got to play this next, and I'm gonna say it like they said in the country: we gotta play this one. We have to make sure we play this one because these brothers will be very upset and kind of mad at me and said, "Now, bro, you need to play that one because it's important." And truly, I want to thank those brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
This is fun. It's glad to be on tonight. It's been fun.
Exactly. And see, them brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma Chapter of Greenville, Alabama, they invest time and everything to support what we're doing. They do research. They go out in 5 days. They come on here break. So they working hard because they really want to have this partnership strong with WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station the brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And when we come back, we'll be closing out. Let's start to have an opportunity. We'll be down in about 5 minutes. We get our 2 minutes and we'll close out. And that way we'll make it do what it do.
If you want to contact those brothers, you can go to Facebook, Sacrifice Sigma Rainbow, or you can go to Instagram, and that's Sacrifice Sigma Rainbow number 10. If you want to tweet those brothers, that's Sacrifice Sigma _10. Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, we're proud of you. They can do what it do.
We want to thank those brothers for supporting what we're doing here on WVSW Radio, #1 internet station. We're excited to have them partners with us. And their main show that they really invest their money in and time in is the show at 1 o'clock on the first. And these, I don't know why people be trying to call. People be trying to call, I tell you. People be trying to call and everything. So they continue to do what they're doing. Thank you, brothers. On that 1 o'clock show, Dr. Lowe's Neighborhood, they're right in there, and they make sure they offer as much information, do as much research, because it's one of the partnership programs with the fraternity. So we say congratulations, because our focus is on building boys to be productive men in the future. And maybe they choose one day to be a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity program. So that's what it's all about. Scarlett. Okay, we can close out, Scarlett.
Just like I said, just the fun, that's real. It's just great. But glad to see back. And hopefully we can keep, we will, not hopefully, we will keep momentum going. And
Yes.
we'll try to address as many issues as we can. So thank you. It's an honor.
And it's an honor having her here, the Scarlett Harvey Black, out of the great state of South Carolina. Thank you so much, Scarlett. And we just want to truly thank all of you all. We had quite a few. I didn't get a chance to get everybody's name shout out. Matter of fact, there's someone calling there thinking that's the way you do it. You can be called on the radio station, but we're going to get that ironed out. And truly, we want to thank the interest we have out of everybody. And we just want to say that we truly love you from our hearts, because we couldn't do it without you. Tomorrow we have a show at 3 o'clock p.m. and that is truly an awesome show, which is Our Voice. And we're going to be focusing on a relationship issue, which is entitled Relationship. Are you enough? It's a question we send it out there. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is on WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. We're on Blog Talk. We're on TikTok, Bigo, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We thank you all for your support. So I want to tell y'all as we get ready to close out of here, God has been so good to us. He's been awesome. And to all the Divine Nine that check us out time to time, I see you down on the board, and I want to give a shout out to your name. Sometimes the name rolls so fast. Sometimes we have 300 and 400 people rolling on this TikTok and on this Big O Live and on Instagram. And I can't call out everybody's name, but I thank you, all the Divine Nine, for supporting what we're doing here. Have a great rest of the night. And as we get ready to close this out, I want to really look at truly a blessing here that God has given us. And this song, I think, we don't own the rights to it, but we want to play it. But this is going to close it out for the night. You know, we have to feel like going on. And Scarlett, as well as I have said, we have a lot of challenges. We have 19 seconds. So be good, be blessed. I want to tell you I love you all. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Have an awesome rest of the night. We'll see you then. That's tomorrow. Have a great rest of the night. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock. All right, you feel like going on? Good night. Be blessed. Be safe.
Like pressing away. I feel